So here's the PowerShell, just another type of shell. This one's particularly used for Windows. Many types of shells, but for this class, we're going to be focusing on our Bash shell. All right, so let's keep moving on with our navigation commands. So these are definitely more useful types of commands. These are essential for navigating your file system. We're going to be covering a few different types of commands in the following slides. But first, let's talk about what a file system is. So it's just what organizes and stores files on a storage device on your computer. It manages how data is stored and retrieved. So in Windows, your file system, you can navigate it via the File Explorer app. That's this one right here, right? So I have my video folder, I have my downloads folder, my documents folder, and inside those folders I have files. If you were on Mac, you'd be using the Finder app to navigate your file system. Of course, for this class, we're not going to be using our typical GUI apps. Remember, GUI means it has pictures, icons, buttons to click on. We're going to be using our CLI, our command line interface. A little bit scary, right? A little bit different, a little bit intimidating. But we're going to learn all the commands we need to do exactly the same things you would do on your Explorer app or in your Finder app via the Bash terminal. All right, so the file system, remember, it's just all the directories, aka folders, and the files they contain. Just a reminder, right? Windows, here's the File Explorer. On Mac OS, it'd be your Finder app. That's how you navigate through the files and folders. Folder, just another word for directory. Directory, another word for folder. All right, so file system commands. Why do we need to know our file system commands? What are they going to do? Well, the following commands are used for navigating file systems in Bash. They're fundamental for effective file management and system navigation in Linux and Unix environments. We're definitely going to be learning more file system commands, but just to get your feet wet, get you started, here are three very, very important commands. We have our pwd command, which is the print working directory. That displays the current directory you are in. When you enter pwd, it shows the full path to your current location in the file system. So working means current, so it's printing your current directory. So here we're in our home directory. If I do pwd, I can verify that. I can actually verify, where that home directory is. And that home directory is in the home/vbox user folder. So the parent folder is home, and then the child folder is vbox user. There are more folders here. How can we look at those folders? Well, let's look at this next slide. We can use the change directory. So change directory is how, not really how you see the folders. That's actually going to be the next command. Change directory is how you move between folders. So let's say I wanted to go to my home folder. I could do cd. Whoops, I'm on the wrong window. There we go. I could do cd dot dot. And now when I do pwd, it should say home, because I moved from that vbox user up to that parent directory. So that I moved up one level. So now I'm in the home folder. I was in the home folder before, but I was inside another folder inside the home folder, which was the vbox user folder. So I would do cd vbox user. Remember the tab key auto completes. So I just typed in vbox, and then the rest was auto completed by my Ubuntu Bash terminal by hitting the tab key. Saves you some time there, just like a split second. But if we're going to be using computers, we always want to be faster with them. So yeah, if I do pwd, it should now say home/vbox user. I know there are more folders in here. One folder that I know is for sure here is my downloads folder. Again, I'm just typing down, hit tab, should autocomplete my downloads. Now if I do pwd, I should see three names in my path. It's going to be home, vbox user, download. So I'm inside the home folder, inside of that folder. I'm inside of another folder called vbox user, inside that folder. I'm inside of another folder called downloads. It's just like in real life when you have like those manila folders. That's why that icon, right, is this like yellow manila color. It's just indicating, right, that these directories work just like old-fashioned folders, right, file folders that we'd use back in the day. And you could certainly have one folder inside the other. All right, so just like I did here with CD downloads, you can definitely navigate to a particular folder. I'm going to move 2 levels up. All you need to do is do // If you want to do 3 levels up, you could do another set of double dots. I'm just going to do that one. And if I do PWD, I should have moved up to my home folder. I went ahead and verified that I am in my home folder by doing the cd dot dot. All right. So let's see. What if I wanted to go to my downloads folder, right, without doing cd vbox user? Remember, if I go up on my arrow keys, I could do that. And then I could do another command and do cd downloads. You can actually do this all in one by typing in the full path. CD downloads, I autocomplete, and I just did 2 levels down, right, into the downloads folder. PWD to verify that. As you can see, PWD is very useful for verifying where you're at, especially right when you're like troubleshooting something. You're like, oh, what? Why isn't this working? Let me double check if I'm in the right place. Useful when you're running scripts. Sometimes you're not in the right folder, right, to run the script, and you're wondering why it's. Sometimes it's small things, right, just being in the wrong folder. All right, so let's go back to that home directory. You can do that, remember, with the tilde symbol, as it says right there. Tilde symbol is to the left of the key with the 1 on it, the 1 key. You just hit shift, you hit that key right there. Should give you that little squiggly line, the tilde symbol. I hit enter, it should take me to my home directory. So I do pwd, yep, home/vbox user. So that's like your main directory where everything's at. You'll see there's a lot of important folders there in the next slide, but just know cwd tilde will take you there. And yeah, that's exactly how that works. Change directory is with the cd. What if I want to see the folders in there, right? Because, for example, if I type in cd and I up, right, I go up 1 level, and now I'm on my home folder. If I do cd downloads, this should fail. Because yeah, no such file directory. That doesn't work because the downloads folder wasn't in the home folder. It was in the vbox user folder, which is inside the home folder. So I have to do cd vbox user, and then I could do downloads, and now it works. How can I verify, right, what folders are in there in the first place? That's going to be your ls command. So if you type in ls, let me do that in my home folder, ls. You'll see that all these important folders are inside my home folder, my home directory. Remember, directory folder, totally interchangeable words. So I have my desktop folder, my documents, my downloads, my music, pictures, publics, something called Snap, templates, videos. These are all my important folders. I'm able to list them all using the ls command, short for list. If I want to see some more details on those files, I could do ls-l. I see who created that folder. I see the size of the folder. I see the date that it was created. Notice that it's all the same date because it's the date that I created the VM. So of course all these folders should be created at the same time. Another useful one is ls-a. I believe it's the same thing as LA. Yeah, so LA is a shorter version of ls-a. So this is going to show you extra folders called hidden folders. Hidden folders are folders that have a dot in front of the name. So .cache, .config. You usually can't see these folders. That's not by accident. That's because they want to hide these folders because they don't want users to like interact and mess with those. They're usually important for some kind of configuration for some app for your computer and so forth. These hidden folders do exist on your regular computer. So if I go to my File Explorer, I go to my main disk here. Um, if I were to open this on my Git Bash terminal, I should see some hidden files. I forget how to show them on Windows. I think I could do it here. Properties, show, give access to, view. Yeah, so just to show you, right, it's kind of hard to see the hidden folders. Here, I might not even find it. But this kind of just drives my point that even though command line is a little bit scary to use, we're going to see that it has some advantages. So seeing the hidden folders, a lot easier through command line than through that graphical interface. I'm not even going to bother figuring out how to do it because, like I said, our focus is going to be on command line, on Linux, on Bash. All right, so these are all the commands you need in order to be familiar with the commands used for the lab. So we'll be covering the lab in the next video. We'll cover the instructions and everything you need to succeed in that second assignment. Remember, if you need extra help setting up your VM, you could always set up a meeting with me on office hours. Reach out to me via Canvas inbox, send me a screenshot, right, with the problem you're encountering, and we can work through it together. Again, my apologies for the troubles with week one videos. That shouldn't happen from here on out. Alrighty, so go ahead and click on to that next video, and we'll get started on lab number 2.